Hello students. In our early lecture, we have discussed the first linguistic analysis branch, that is morphology. In morphology, we have the study of morphemes. It's a scientific study of morphemes. Now, our next branch of study is phonology. Logy stands for the science or the study. As we have studied in our so-called earlier lecture, there are 6 to 7 branch of linguistic studies. And as the days go by, we have certain developments in this particular segment. But whatever, we have in the prescribed syllabus the study of morphology and the study of phonology. Morphology, as we have studied in earlier few lectures, that you need to go through. And in the second branch of study is that phonology. Phonology, it stands for the study of phones. Phones, it stands for sounds. This is one of the, say, important point to think about when we think about that language should be pronounced. Language do have the vocal quality. Language needs to be produced, okay, and that is what to produce in the oral transaction of a human being. Certain sounds are used to pronounce these words. How the words are there, why these words signifies a particular thing, it is for the linguistics to study. These are the language philosophers, those who delve in this particular studies. And this branch is studied in the so-called under the various branches as we see. Of course, when we study this sounds, language do have these auditory qualities and sound qualities. Sounds, if we produce the sounds are audible also, means you can listen to. So there are certain, say, qualities of these sounds. These sounds can be uttered, okay, and these sounds can be audited, means that can be listened to. The sounds are able to be listened, okay. So in this way, we have these certain qualities of the sounds. So the words needs to be pronounced. And how we use, what way we can use these so-called sounds? Of course, we need to think about the sounds. As we know, we have gone through the the, the sounds that are produced in FRBS syllabus when you have studied the communication skills in English. But at the same time, when we have to study the deeper, say, definitions and concepts of these sounds, we need to think under the phonology term. Okay? In the study of sounds, we have the sounds that are produced, see, with the help of speech organs. Okay, so which are the speech organs that we must understand first? Okay, so to study the speech organs, we need to think about the topic that we have. See, with a diagram, the sounds are to be, speech organs are to be thought over. Okay, so we use our speech organs. Let me draw it for you. See, in this way, we have this is our mouth, and we have certain parts of these mouths that we have to name them. So these are, as we call, lips. These we call as teeth. This is tongue. And we have four parts of tongue. These are the first here. We have to name them 2, 3, and 4. So in tongue, we have the first is the tip of the tongue. Second, we have the front of the tongue. Third, we have the central part of the tongue, okay, and we have the back of the tongue. So we have four parts of tongue, okay. At the same time, when this is as we call nasal cavity. Nasal cavity. This is it's a free space. It is called as oral cavity. As we know, this is called a trachea. Trachea stands for the windpipe. Okay. This is larynx. This is larynx. Okay. This particular part, this is vulva. Vulva. So, in this way, we do have this particular part. This, as we know, this is the hard palate. So, we have to name them. This particular part is called teeth ridge. This is teeth ridge. This particular part is hard palate. Hard palate. Okay. This particular part is soft. Soft palate. So these are the speech organs that we use to produce the sounds. And these speech parts helps us to produce in English. In English, we have 44 sounds. There are 44 sounds in English. 44 sounds in English. And these 44 sounds are furthermore categorized in, see, we have to study them as per the differences that we have gone through. So, for the production of the 44 sounds, the sounds are vowel sounds and consonant sounds, and these sounds are produced with the energy. The energy is generated from the air that we inhale, and when we exhale, the exhalation air is used as an energy to produce the sounds. So the energy is produced by the air. So our lungs also helps us to produce the sounds. So lungs are there. Here, as you know, this is the particular part, okay, and this is called as vocal cords. Vocal cords. The air passage is indicated by arrows. Okay. If the air comes out of the mouth, we can call it as an oral sound. If the air passes through the nose, we have nasal sounds, nasalized sounds. नाकाच्या माध्यमातून काही आवाज नाकाच्या माध्यमातून येतो, नाकाच्या द्वारे बाहेर येत असतो. आणि म्हणून असे साऊंड्स हे नाझलाइज्ड साऊंड्स म्हणून आपल्याला पाहायला मिळते. इंग्लिशमध्ये 44 sounds आहेत. And these 44 sounds are categorized in, out of these we do have 20 as vowel sounds and rest of them are consonants. Consonant sounds. So we have these 24 sounds and we need to understand them in detail. How these sounds are produced. Okay, so in the vowel sounds, say, what is the difference between vowel sounds and consonant sounds? Vowel sounds, the air comes out through the oral cavity without any obstruction to the air passage. Without any air obstruction in the air passage are called as vowel sounds. And for production of a consonant sounds, the air passage is obstructed. Obstructed. It is not easily, say, allowed to pass. Such sounds are called, due to this closure, due to this closure, due to this obstruction to the air passage, such sounds are caused by the speech organs are called as consonant sounds. So that is the major difference between vowel sounds and consonant sounds. In English, we have already studied A, E, I, O, U are vowel sounds and rest of them are consonant sounds. So in this particular video lecture, you might have come to understand what does these so-called say stands for. So it is just an introduction to the sounds. Then we have to understand the next part of our say. So we will go through them. Okay, how to understand these particular say sounds. Okay, in what way we are going to study them and in what way we are going to utilize for our further more studies. Okay, see, so we have to understand them. Okay, so when we have to describe the sounds, what needs to be studied? So, in the description of the sounds, how to describe these sounds? Okay. So, few points that we need to remember. For the production of a speech sound, we have to indicate the nature of the air stream. Okay. The first is we have to describe something about the air stream. How the air comes out. Air comes out through the lungs. So we have to indicate all English sounds are produced with the air coming out. Okay, with the air coming out. That is what we have. These sounds are called as aggressive sounds. It is, these sounds are called as aggressive sounds. Okay, so we have to describe the nature of the air stream. Then these, as we have seen, there is here the vocal cords. कंठ आपण म्हणत असतो त्या vocal cords ची पोझिशन काय आहे? vocal cords, आता ह्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला दोन पोझिशन्स ह्या लक्षात घ्याव्या लागतील. Suppose these are so called vocal cords. This position is open position. Okay. This position is open position and it is closed position. This is closed position. Vocal cords have two positions. First is as we saw, as we can see the closed position. Closed position when the vocal cords are two muscle parts here, okay, and these muscle parts are brought close tightly, and the air comes out with a narrow opening in the vocal cords. Narrow opening in the vocal cords. So this is closed position. When the air comes out through this smaller space, so-called hole, the vocal cords vibrate. Okay, vocal cords vibrate. Okay, so cords vibrate, and here air comes out freely. There is no closure. They are apart. Okay, they are rather apart. So it stands for vocal cords do not vibrate. Okay, do not vibrate. Do not vibrate. So in this way, we have to indicate the position of the vocal cords. Okay. Then the soft palate, as we have seen, the soft palate you can see in the picture. Okay. Soft palate position. Soft palate position we have to indicate while describing the sounds or a sound. Then we have to indicate the position of the tongue. Our tongue is again. So we have to indicate tongue and lips position. So these 5 points are important to describe any type of so-called sounds. So in this way, we have studied just an introduction to the speech sounds. Okay. So like this, we need to understand these sounds. Okay. Again, we can go ahead and we will try to understand what and how, in what way we have to understand our phonologic topic. Okay. Till then, okay. Thank you.